Every night, billions of people close their eyes, without fear. But imagine, if the moment you fell asleep, you might never wake up again. Not because of sickness, not because of an accident, because something was waiting for you inside your dreams. Tonight's story begins on the last normal night the world would ever have. No one knew when it started. There was no warning, no strange weather, no explosion, no prophecy, just one ordinary night. The next morning, millions of people never opened their eyes. Doctors found nothing. Their hearts were healthy. Their brains were normal. It was as if they had simply chosen not to wake up. Within days, the entire world changed. Hospitals overflowed, schools closed, cities became silent. People stopped sleeping. Coffee disappeared from stores. Energy drinks became priceless. Scientists searched for answers. Religious leaders called it judgment. Governments called it an emergency. No one had an explanation. 3 weeks later, one strange discovery changed everything. The people who survived all had one thing in common. They were awakened before midnight. Nobody knew why. But after midnight, the chance of never waking up became terrifyingly high. A new law spread across the world. Never let anyone sleep past midnight. Our story follows. Elias, 23 years old, one of the last remaining night watchmen. His job wasn't to protect people from criminals. His job was to protect people from sleep. Every night, he walked through empty streets, knocking on every door, making sure everyone was still awake. Every city, every village, every neighborhood had the same sound. A loud bell echoing through the darkness. 11:55 p.m., 5 minutes left. Children stopped playing. Families locked their doors. Lights stayed on. No one dared to lie down, because everyone knew the next 5 minutes decided who would still be alive tomorrow. Elias walked silently, checking every window. Most people were terrified. Some drank coffee. Some slapped their own faces. Some tied ropes around their wrists so pain would keep them awake. Then, he saw something strange. An old woman, sleeping peacefully. She wasn't afraid. She wasn't even trying to wake up. Elias rushed inside. "Wake up!" No response. He shook her shoulder. Nothing. Then, her lips moved. Barely a whisper. She quietly said, "Don't let it know you're afraid." Then, she stopped breathing. Her eyes remained open, but she was gone. That night, Elias searched her house. Everything looked normal, except one notebook. Inside, only one sentence, written hundreds of times. "It doesn't kill you while you sleep." Turn the page. "It waits until you dream." Another page. Never look at its face. The final page was completely blank, except for a single black handprint. A week later, Elias met someone who had survived, a little boy, only 9 years old. The boy hadn't slept for 6 days. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. His voice barely existed. Elias asked, "What did you see?" The boy started crying. "I heard my mom calling me, but she died years ago. And when I followed her voice, I saw something else, wearing her face." The boy refused to say another word. The next morning, he disappeared. No footprints, no broken window, nothing. It was as if the darkness itself had taken him. That was the moment Elias realized. People weren't dying. They were being taken. But by what? No one knew. Not yet. Desperate for answers, Elias broke into the government's sealed archive. Inside were thousands of classified reports. Every survivor described the same thing, a place that looked exactly like our world, only completely silent. No wind, no birds, no people, just endless empty streets, and one shadow, walking behind them. Always behind them, never in front. The reports all ended with the same warnings. Rule 1. Never answer a familiar voice, no matter whose voice it is. Rule 2. Never look behind you, even if you hear footsteps. Rule 3. If the shadow reaches you, do not run, because it already knows where you're going. For 21 days, Elias never slept. His vision blurred, his hands shook, his heartbeat echoed in his ears. Then, for just 1 second, his eyes closed. When he opened them again, he wasn't in his apartment anymore. He stood alone, in a silent city. Every building, every street looked familiar, but there wasn't a single living person, only one sound. Footsteps, slow, heavy, getting closer. Elias didn't turn around. He remembered the rules. The footsteps stopped. Then, a voice whispered, his own name, exactly like his mother's voice, exactly like his sister's voice, exactly like every friend he had ever loved, one after another. Turn around. We're here. We missed you. Tears filled his eyes. Every part of him wanted to look, but he didn't. Suddenly, he understood. The thing hunting humanity didn't feed on bodies. It fed on trust. It copied the voices, the faces, the memories of the people you loved most. Not because it hated you, because love was the easiest way to make you look back. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Then, for the first time, the shadow spoke. Not with fear, not with anger, but with a calm voice. Look at me. Just once. Then you can wake up. Elias closed his eyes tighter. His heart pounded. Every instinct told him to turn around. But something felt wrong. If it truly wanted to kill him, why did it need his permission? Then he understood. The shadow couldn't touch anyone who refused to acknowledge it. It didn't hunt people. It hunted curiosity. Every victim had made the same mistake. They looked back. Elias began walking, slowly, without turning around. The footsteps followed, closer, closer. Then, they suddenly stopped. A blinding white light filled the empty city. Elias opened his eyes. He was back, lying on the floor of his apartment, morning sunlight shining through the window. Outside, people were cheering. For the first time, someone had fallen asleep and survived. Scientists celebrated. Governments called it a miracle. People finally believed the nightmare was over. But Elias never smiled, because before he woke, he heard one final whisper. Next time, I won't ask you to turn around. That night, millions of people slept peacefully again. But somewhere, in a dream, someone heard their name. So let me ask you, if you knew that looking behind you would end your life, could you resist forever? Or would curiosity eventually win? If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for another original mystery next week.